Oh, wow. That's pretty good. Hmm. This is the Wuben G5 ECL or Easy Carry light. So first off, we'll have a look at the box. So this is the box it comes in. Very well packaged. Has your information on the front, your Wuben G5 Easy Carry light. On the back, it has your product information and also your light modes, colors, lumens, ratings, and durations. As you open the box, it has an internal packaging, kind of a neat fold-out design. There is the bag your light would come in, and then underneath of that, we have your instruction manual that has all of your accessories, your light modes, troubleshooting, warranty, and all the stuff we like to ignore until we need it. Underneath of that is your accessory package, which includes a USB charging cable, a lanyard, and a key ring should you wish to use that to attach your lanyard. Dimensions of the light: it is 2.4 inches tall or 6.2 centimeters. The width is 1.5 inches or 3.7 centimeters. The depth is 0.6 inches or 3.5 centimeters. And the overall weight is 1.8 ounces or 52 grams. As we take a walk around the light, the first thing you'll notice is the light emitter. It rotates 180 degrees. Clicks into a forward, top, and back position. It has a heat sink to help dissipate heat, and two light emitters, one for color and one for white. On the side, you have a recessed pocket clip, but that also rotates 180 degrees. So you simply pull out, rotate it forward, and then it snaps into position. Pull out again, rotates this way, and then you can pull and rotate it to the back. The bottom appears to have a rail system. Now, I checked their website. I didn't find a product that seemed to match with that, but there may well be one. It has a recessed magnet to attach it to metal surfaces and a spot for your lanyard. And you could either use the key ring provided or simply pass your lanyard through, as I've done here. And the lanyard is adjustable. So it has a little sliding portion here that you can slide down to lock it around your wrist or whatever use you might have for that. Now on this side, you'll notice a sliding tab, and this is a neat feature. Right now, in the fully down position, the light is locked out. So you cannot turn the light on. Slide it up one space, and now your light turns on. Slide it up fully, and you expose your USB charging port. And your light will still operate. And you will notice here, these little divots, those are detents. So you can hear as it snaps into each position. Here is your power button for turning your light on and off and changing your modes. And here is a scroll wheel. And this is a neat feature. So instead of tapping through to oscillate through different light intensities, you can actually scroll the wheel and change your light intensities. And we'll show that in a few minutes. So with your two light emitters, you have a white light and an RGB light, red, green, blue. Your lowest intensity for your white light is 2 lumens, and the max is 400 lumens. For your RGB light, it is a constant 10 lumens, and you have a red-blue flashing mode, a red-green flashing mode, a red-yellow flashing mode that are each 10 lumens, and you have a beacon mode that is 10 lumens. Advertised rating for your white light at max intensity is 50 minutes, and at minimum intensity is 65 hours. For your RGB light, in constant mode is 9 hours, in your multicolor flashing modes is 25 hours, and in your single red beacon flashing mode, it is 45 hours. Now for the operation of your light. You have your button on the side. First, make sure you are out of the lock position. One tap will turn your light on. One tap will turn your light off. When in your white light mode, scrolling the wheel will adjust the intensity of the light from 2 lumens to 400 lumens. When you reach the max, your light will blink. Scrolling back the other way will take you from 400 lumens to 2 lumens, and when you reach 2 lumens, your light will flash again. And the light has a memory for the last function you had it in before you turned it off. So if you scroll to a particular brightness, turn your light off. When you turn it back on, it will resume at that brightness level. Now, should you wish to go to your 400 lumen setting right away, simply turn the light on and then double tap. And it immediately takes you to 400 lumens. Double tap again, and it takes you to your previous setting. While in white light mode, if you press and hold, it will take you to your RGB mode. And scrolling your wheel will take you through the color spectrum. Hold again, and you go back to white light mode. While in your RGB mode, if you double tap, that will take you to your flashing beacon. You cannot adjust the color while in the beacon mode. But if you double tap to go back to your beacon mode and adjust your color, double tap again, and your beacon will be in that color. If you double tap from the off position, that takes you to your 2-color flashing mode. Double tap again, and it changes your colors. So your options are red-green, red-yellow, and red-blue. And just single tap to turn off. And then single tap again, and it will take you to whatever your previous setting was. To check your battery life, simply long hold in the off position, and you will get a battery life indicator. Solid blue means a full charge, and then it steps down to blinking blue, then red, and then flashing red for you're almost out of battery life. So now that we have some of the particulars out of the way, let's talk about the features. First off, the size. It's a very convenient size, drops easily into a 5th pocket, very comparable in size to a Zippo lighter, as you see here. Not much taller, not much thicker than a Zippo, so it will fit into your 5th pocket or anywhere you might carry a Zippo lighter. Now the pocket clip is an interesting feature. You're not going to clip it to too much in that position, but if you want to clip it in your pocket like so. You can have it in a 5th pocket or your regular pocket and secure it in with a clip. And it has pretty good retention. Let's say you have an EDC pouch. You can easily slip into one of your straps, lock in fairly well, and has pretty good retention. You can also use it to attach the light to the brim of your hat. And then while you're working, you have the adjustable beam angle. And the retention is quite good. The clip also comes in handy if you have any gear that's small equipped or has strapping on it. Will fit nicely on the shoulder straps of a backpack or any mall equipped gear you might have. And it has good retention. I did one small test on the battery life, and that was at a full charge at 400 lumens, and it lasted about 42 minutes for me. Now, after about a minute and a half, it did step down, and it does that, and most lights will do that, just to prevent overheating. Now, the light did heat up. It was very warm to the touch, but personally to me, not at a dangerous level. And perhaps, in a pinch, it might make a good hand warmer. The light comes in 3 colors. You have a black, you have an OD green, and there is also a new white anniversary edition. So how much does it cost? Right now, direct from Wuben, the black and the OD green versions are $24.99. The special white anniversary edition is $29.99. Now, they do have a discount code right now of 20G5, and that will get you 20% off. So that brings your price down from $24.99 to $19.99. The light is also offered on Amazon. Now, I wasn't able to find it on Amazon Canada. There are some knockoffs on there. Look exactly the same, but they don't have the Wuben G5. And I contacted Wuben about that, and they are aware of that. So presently, I don't believe you can pick this up on Amazon Canada from Wuben. But on the Amazon US site, it sells for $24.99 and is presently on sale for $19.99. By comparison, something kind of in the similar venue, the Olight O-Clip currently runs on Amazon for $39.99, and the Olight i3T EOS runs for $24.99. So now that we've gone over the specifications and the operation, let's pop outside in the dark and do some demonstrations. So what are my overall thoughts on the light? I've had it for a few days now. Overall, I like it. It's a convenient size, easy to carry, fits well in the fifth pocket or a regular pocket. It's very light, you don't notice it. It fits in various EDC pouches. With the clip, you can attach it to a variety of packs or other items, even a sun visor in your vehicle. The adjustable head is a very nice feature, particularly when you're wearing it on your cap or working under the hood of your vehicle or something like that. The scroll wheel to adjust the intensity or the color for the RGB, that's a nice feature. I like that. It's a little more detailed than just cycling through different settings by tapping a button. The O light here is a great little light. I really like this one, but the operation of this is a headache. If I don't use it for a while, then it's like, okay, how do I turn it on? How do I adjust the different settings? And so I find this one much easier and more convenient. As I said before, I kind of like this sliding system here for locking the light out or covering your USB port. I find that much more convenient than trying to pull open a little rubber tab. Some cons or concerns. I was initially concerned when I looked at the light that should I drop it, it might very likely snap this rotating head off. But I've dropped it a few times, both of them, and I've had no issues with that. The clip, while it's a great feature, I think could be modified a little more. It has a bit of play, which really, though, isn't a big concern. When you have it strapped to something, that goes away just by applying tension. And the clip has pretty good tension. And I like when you don't need a clip, you can just pop it out of the way like that. The rail system, while I do like it, I think it could have a stronger detent. You don't really have to apply much pressure to get that to slide. Now, I was concerned that it could open up in my pocket, and on one occasion, when I did take it out of my pocket, it had moved to the on position. Now, a nice thing about the light having a memory, when you turn the light off, if you have it in the lowest setting, even if somehow it did accidentally open and accidentally turn on, you would have to have both things happen at once. In a low setting with 65 hours of battery life, it's not going to drain your battery. And if it was in the high setting in your pocket, you'd probably notice as it heated up. Probably my biggest concern is the magnet. It's a reasonably strong magnet, but because of the dimensions of the light, it tends to be top heavy, particularly if you have it in this flat position. So if you stick it to something like that, it's fairly solid. But physics comes into play, and when it's laying flat like this, it's a little wobbly. They could use for either a stronger magnet or perhaps sacrifice the lanyard hole and put a longer magnet in. And finally, the RGB light. That's something some people will find useful, others won't. Kind of a neat feature. Should you want to do some photography or something like that, you could add some lighting effects when you're taking pictures. But in general, probably not a feature most people are going to find useful. Myself, I would rather see maybe an ultraviolet light or maybe a more intense strobe or something like that. I would find that more useful. But it's going to depend on what you want to use the light for. My general overlook is this is, I think, a very good EDC flashlight. It's more of an urban light than a light I would take to the woods. It certainly wouldn't be my primary light. It would be a backup light. Be a good light for when you're camping in your tent, and maybe it's after dark and you want to look around for something in one of your bags. You can have the lower light intensity. You could even hang it from the top of your tent and use it as a dome light for your tent. But in the woods, it's not going to be my go-to primary light. I'm going to have something a little more intense, a little bigger, but it certainly would make a great backup light. So overall, from the everyday carry perspective, I think it's a great light to keep in your pocket. You know, when you're out and about in town, going on a little trip, something like that. Maybe your vehicle breaks down. Great under the hood light to work on your engine. You know, inspect a tire or something like that. Put it on the lip of your cap to change a tire or anything like that. And I think it's a pretty good light for people walking in the evenings. You know, a lot of people like to have some kind of strobe or flashing light so that vehicles can see them in the dark. And great to strap on the harness for your puppy dog or on the lead so that people can see your dog when you're walking at night. So overall, I would recommend the Wuben G5 as a general everyday carry light. And certainly a good backup light for when you're back in the woods hiking, and a decent camping light, you know, just to have around to work around the campsite, find things in your tent and whatnot. Now, Wuben was kind enough to send me these two lights for a review. They reached out, asked if I'd be interested in reviewing them. They sent me the two lights. They sent me no financial compensation other than 2 free lights and asked that I do an honest review. They did provide 2 links in the discount code, so I will put those in the description below. So should you be interested in this light, there'll be a link where you can go to the Wuben website and purchase the light. And remember to use that 20G5 discount code to get yourself 20% off. And there'll also be a link to Amazon USA should you wish to purchase it there. Anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed the video and found some useful information. Hopefully I gave you some points that will help you make a decision on whether or not to purchase this light. That said, I hope you have an awesome day. And remember, if life's getting you down, go spend some time in the woods. Go for a walk on a hiking trail. Go for a tramp through the woods. If you're by yourself, tell somebody where you're going to be. And hey, it's always good to take a light with you. It might come in handy. You all take care.